I'm Michelle Graves, your host on today's segment of The Power of Money. I'm glad to have you here. Now, at The Power of Money, we are interested in three things happening. First, we want you to get the necessary education so that you and your family can make the decisions that will impact positively on you in your financial life. The second thing is that you be empowered to prosper. I only want the best for you. And you can only get that if you have education and then the drive to make it happen. And the third thing that is so important to me is that you recognize that life is more than a journey and that you be energized so that you can begin to participate in the truly joyous experience of living. So, here's to empowerment, here's to education, and here's to energy. I'm Michelle Graves, your host, Power of Money, and here we go. And welcome to today's segment of The Power of Money with Michelle Graves. And as always, I'm delighted and honored and privileged that you would set aside time to listen to my show, because again, my commitment is to educate, empower, and let you experience the joyous expression of life. And today is no exception. I have a guest on today as part 2 of an interview where I ran out of time. And so I brought her back to share even more because of the tremendous response that I've had to this video. And that individual is Zet Yarbough. She is the president of Reaching Self Reliant Students Inc. with corporate offices in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Miss Yarbough has been involved in getting students free money, going back to her son, which she assisted in 1992, and with him getting a debt-free education. Her passion and commitment is clearly evident in the things that she does and how she's done it. So today's show, which is a continuation of part 1, will go into much more detail about her program, along with testimonies and just anecdotes that make her such a refreshing guest. Now, you need to know how I feel personally about students and debt and student loans. I am totally against it. Why? Because the truth of the matter is, students come out with all this debt, many of it co-signed by their parents, which is their parents are now shackled in retirement in debt, and unable to get jobs that pay enough money to pay off the debt. And so they're strangling, in addition to which the debt is a federal debt. Exactly. Which means, how are you going to run from the Internal Revenue Service, who will take the money, period. They'll take it. And so I share with people, if given a choice between using the services of Zet and versus going and getting a federally guaranteed student loan, which one do you think makes more sense? So we're going to continue this remarkable story about her and about her organization and some of the real testimonies of these amazing students. As a sidebar, and not really a sidebar, but I will say this: not all students are four-year college material. Some students will do better to go into the military. I said that on my radio show yesterday. You need to go into the military. They'll pay for your education while you work for the military. They'll also teach you how to grow up. You can also look at other alternatives, such as apprenticeships in plumbing, electrical, auto repair, other things. There are other skills that we need in our society that don't necessarily involve a 4-year degree. And she'll talk about that with you as well. But I'm just inserting my little 2 cents, if you want to call it that, about this whole college thing. Yes, I've gone to college, seems like forever and ever and ever, but the truth of the matter is that things have changed, and people need to do a relook at the value of the 4-year. If you've got a very bright, energetic child who's aggressive and disciplined, of course, but that's not every child. and yet we all have a role and a place in our society. So you have to, as parents and as young people, you have to look at your situations objectively. And again, I'm just bringing her to you today as a valuable resource that is available throughout the United States. Simply a phone call away. So without further ado, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to come and be with you and to come and to share information, valuable information for our viewing audience.
I'm so happy you came back again. I told you, I said, this is not complete.
No.
We have to go deeper. We have to talk a little more so that you can let our viewers know with a level of comfort that you're the real deal, that this is not some kind of a fantasy experience, that college is real and students have to be prepared. So do you want to talk a little bit? Let's just share.
Well, I want to first of all agree with you on the point where college is not for everybody. We have there are a lot of vocational schools, 2-year programs where they can get certified and make a nice salary. College costs have accelerated.
Yes, they have.
And the debt that the state of Ohio has is more than the debt of any state in the United States.
What?
It's in the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Would you restate that?
Yes. Ohio has the largest student loan debt of any state in the U.S.
My goodness, the state of Ohio.
The state of Ohio.
These kids will never get out from it.
It's most likely that they won't get out from it because of many things. One thing is when they're excited about going to college.
Yes.
And not realizing the true responsibility behind those loans they're going to sign for. The students that we work with, it is mandatory that a parent be there with that child in that monetary discussion, because we're talking about teenagers. They're what, 17, 18
yes,
years
they're
old?
Young.
And they've not managed money like adults, like we have. They've not had to pay rent and other household bills. So they just want to go to college, and that's what they focus on. But the reality of it is a heavy financial burden once you get locked into those student loans, and you must pay that back. And I wanted to start off by saying, those who are interested, get your pencils and paper and phones ready. But those who are interested in going to college, here are a few steps that will be helpful.
Okay.
Okay. The first step is to realize that you're in high school now. Check with the counselor to see what scholarship your school offers. The majority of the high schools have a scholarship, if not scholarships.
For students?
For students.
I didn't know that.
That's the first thing I ask when we go into the schools, and I'll ask them, what is the name of the scholarship for your school? And the room is very quiet. They're not aware that they even have a scholarship. So you can start there.
Okay.
Okay.
So you would ask your high school counselor for that information?
Yes.
Okay.
You would ask your high school counselor about that information. As a matter of fact, the high school counselors are the ones who receive scholarship information in the mail, and they can share it with the student. However, the student's responsibility is to go seek that information out from the counselor.
Okay, so don't expect the counselor to be proactive for the student.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good information to know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, one of the programs, it's a free program that is available for students, is called the Raise.me. Raise, R-A-I-S-E .me, M-E. And that is available for 9th through 12th graders. So you can
Okay.
start in the 9th grade. You go online, you give them your information, and that will take you into a listing for many colleges.
Mm-hmm.
So those colleges that are listed, let me give you an example. I just read this in the past couple of weeks. There is a college, and if you make an A, that A could be worth $1,000.
Oh my word.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes, and there are some it's worth $500. It
Okay.
varies depending on the college. But see, that starts to build each year. And let's say you've gotten into the 11th grade.
Okay.
All right, it's retroactive. You can look at your information, like if you've won any awards, your grades, any type of activity you've had in school, positive activity. You can go back and list those, and that will go into the your Raise.me account.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I was at a local high school, and there were these 3 guys that were 3 students, and they hung together, they played ball together, and when I introduced them to the Raise.me, they were determined to see how much money they could get.
Oh my goodness.
Each of the 3 received, it was $10,000 each.
$10,000
Yes.
each.
Now, if you're starting in the 9th grade, that can build up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
So what is the best age to start or grade to start this whole process?
personally, although there may be those who disagree with me, but personally, I think the 9th grade is a good age for a couple of reasons. One is the 9th grade, you can start taking the ACT test.
Okay.
The ACT test is required by the majority of colleges. The higher your score, the higher the award you'll get from
Okay.
colleges. So if you can start early taking the ACT test, it improves your chances of getting a higher score.
So do they take the highest ACT?
They do. They take the
Okay.
highest ACT,
Okay.
and that's the one that they use. Many don't know that you can take the ACT 12 times between the 8th and the 12th grade.
12
times. And they only look at the highest score,
Period.
period.
Now, is that the only test they have to take?
Well, that is a test that's required by the colleges,
Okay.
okay, for entrance into a
Okay.
college.
So what is the SAT?
The SAT is another test
Okay.
that will help determine many things, but that ACT is what the colleges really look for.
Okay. So if a child is a poor tester, which many children of color are, they don't do well in those kinds of standardized tests.
Yes. Right.
They haven't been coached and other things. So what do you suggest?
Well, I collaborate with other nonprofits and with various schools, and there is a young man who is, let's just say, he goes into the schools and he works with the students to improve their ACT and GPA.
Oh, really?
Yes, I don't think he'll mind me giving him.
Okay, well, give me his name.
Giving his name is Larry Hodge, Hodge.
And he does this.
He does this, and he's under Tutor to You LLC. That's how
Okay,
you can
Tutor
find
to You.
the number 2, Tutor to You
Okay.
LLC. And Larry is phenomenal. in working with students, helping them to raise their GPA and assisting them in their test taking.
Okay.
He is.
That is good information.
yeah.
For those of you watching, now you got some information and some people that you can get started on. So rule number 1 is go on and get that ACT under your belt, at least the first go, and just plan on taking them until your score
Exactly.
it gets higher and higher. The SAT is another type of a test.
It's another type of a test. If you're looking at colleges, you're looking at the ACT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because in my day, it was the SAT. Of course, that's been more than I want to tell you. In the air, but
A few years.
yeah. But the ACT is what really counts, and they can start that in the 9th grade.
The ACT, you can start really taking it in the 8th grade.
8th grade.
Many choose to start in the 9th grade, but it's something that will make a difference in the award that the colleges offer.
Now, I just was listening yesterday to NPR radio, and they did a whole day, it looks like, on colleges. And the data that they were giving from different guests was sobering. They talked about the number of students that would not be applying because of the COVID, period. That admissions are down.
Yes.
Because the students haven't been in school or haven't and then a lot of the colleges aren't even requiring these standardized tests for this period.
That's true.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think because of the pandemic, it's changed a lot of things and procedures in many schools.
Okay.
I think it depends upon the school. Some of our students are going to private schools, and some not. So it's going to depend upon that. I do Zoom with a lot of the students. I'm a very hands-on person.
Yes.
So Zoom seemed to be a bit foreign to me in the beginning, but to comply with the rules and to keep people safe, I have to do Zoom with them. And many times I will email them, or we'll email each other, or talk on the phone.
Okay.
We might have a 3-way with the parent and the student and myself, trying to get an understanding of where they are and what is needed to reach their goal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I had one mother who said, "I saved you some time. I worked this all out. The housing is this much. The room and the tuition is this much." So I think she was down to around 11 or 12,000.
Okay.
Still.
And
she said, "If you could just help me with that balance, that would be enough."
Right.
Okay. The scholarships that we work with primarily, in this area, are what we call need-based scholarships.
Okay.
Which means you cannot make more than $130,000 a year to qualify for those scholarships. Then there are other types of, many more scholarships that you would just be surprised that are available. I used to say anything that you can see, hear, taste, or smell has a scholarship attached to it. When you brush your teeth in the morning, look on the back of that toothpaste box. You'll find an 800 number, which will lead you
to a
scholarship.
Oh, my word.
Yes, there are so many scholarships that are available. And, for example, there's a scholarship called the New Orphan Asylum.
The New Orphan Asylum.
I just want to tell you and the listening audience, Google that.
What is it? The name is so...
Google it, and you will find a rich history behind that. I did. I'm just telling you, Google it, and you will find a rich history behind that. Because a lot of times when I would introduce them to the New Orphan Asylum, they would say, "Miss Zet, do I have to be an orphan?" No, you don't, sweetheart. You don't have to be an orphan. but because of the history that led to the name of this scholarship. You know, I just found that to be so, I read it twice.
That is so,
so
interesting.
Amazing. Yes.
It is.
Because you would not relate that scholarship name. So you just wouldn't, you would say,
like,
well, you know, what is
this?
What is this? That's very
yes,
true.
Yes, yes.
But we have another way of getting money. We're focusing on money here
Yes,
for
we are.
these students. Another way of getting money is FastWeb. FastWeb.com.
Okay.
Now that's a lot of government money, free money.
Government?
You don't have to pay it back. Free money.
Huh.
Scholarships and grants are free money.
Okay.
You don't have to pay that back. So when you receive that award, you don't have to look back over your shoulder and say, well, yeah, they're going to be coming after me for payments.
Right.
No, that's free money. And they have so many listings under FastWeb for scholarships.
Jeez.
All sorts of listings.
So do they, let me ask you a direct question. If a student or their parent goes to that site, do they need you?
They basically won't need my help. I've directed them to the site.
Right.
If they have questions, I'll be glad to help them.
Okay.
But generally, once you go on the site, the door is open.
Open for you.
And you know, you can pick and choose, and most of them are online applications.
Huh.
So you can apply online. You can apply to as many as you want. To give you an example, I had a young lady who wanted to go to North Carolina A&T.
Okay.
Okay, as we know, that is a pricey school, and like them all, they're just pricey.
Yes.
But she wanted to go there, and I mean, she was determined to go to college.
May I interrupt and ask, what made that learning institution her personal passion?
Yes, that's where she wanted to go.
But based on what?
I think that they have preferences. Sometimes they have friends who've gone there.
Okay.
Or they've read about it or seen a video or have gone on a college tour.
Okay.
Okay. So it's many reasons why they choose what they choose.
Okay.
And she said, Miss Zet, I really want to go to college. And her mother also asked me at a graduation event, you know, will you help me get money for my child? I said, I will help her as long as she helps herself.
Right. That's what that self-reliant.
That's why it's called
Self-Reliant
Self-Reliance.
Students.
Exactly. You have to be self-reliant. And her mother said every day she would come home, she would have a snack ready for her, she would go to her room and stay in that room and fill out those college applications, those scholarship applications. She ended up getting a full ride to North Carolina A&T.
Oh, my words.
And because of certain scholarships that she'd gotten in the greater Cincinnati area that came directly to her and not to the college, she banked $15,000.
Going into her freshman year.
Going into her freshman year.
She should have been proud of herself.
She's very, very proud. And her parents are very supportive and very proud of her.
What role do parents play in this whole process?
In my opinion, parents play a significant role from the very beginning.
Okay.
The earlier you start, the better your chances are of being successful in that collegiate funding journey. I have a young man that I teach piano to.
Okay.
His name is Lewis. Lewis is 8.
8 years old.
Yes. He's an old 8, but he's 8 years
He's 8
old.
years old.
And Lewis already wants to go to college. And he has a sister named Mina. And very bright students, very bright.
Yes.
And they're one of the parents is a teacher.
Okay.
One is a RN. and I gave them a book, and they go over this book together because the book is very vibrant and colorful, and it gives you options to choose from. You know, whether from vocational 2-year to a 4-year college.
Yes.
And also tells you what you have to do to reach that goal. You know,
Right.
in the middle school,
Right,
we're talking about
right,
middle school.
right.
So I think it's wonderful, you know, and that they are doing that. And I told him, I said, you know what? I said, you are a very smart young man. He said, yes, Miss Zet, I know.
Oh my gosh, such confidence.
So he
But
did.
that's just perfect.
He said, yes, Miss
That's
Zet,
just
I know.
perfect.
And
Yeah.
I said, one day you'll probably be, we'll switch roles.
Yes.
You'll probably be teaching and I'll be sitting here. And he said, yes, ma'am, probably.
I love
I love
young
it.
people.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Because they're so open about everything.
Yes,
They
yes,
are.
yes, they are.
So continue.
Now, Christopher Gray went as a young man who went on TV. You know the program, The Sharks?
Yes, Shark Tank.
Shark Tank.
Yes, Shark Tank. Yeah.
Okay. He went on there and he had an idea about scholarships for students for college.
Really?
All of the sharks wanted him.
Oh my gosh.
So he created a wonderful business, and to find him, you would go under myscholly.com.
Okay.
Scholly spelled SCHOLLY.com. Christopher Gray.
So he
And he's-
has a system for kids to
Yes,
find
he
money.
does. And he matches, like if you want to major in a particular subject, you know,
Yeah.
once you sign on to that,
Right.
it will match you with scholarships. It will match you with a scholarship based on the major that you have secured.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an application fee or something.
It started out, it was so funny to me, it started out, it was 99 cents.
99 cents?
Yes. Because I followed him, you know, I followed him online, and it was 99 cents. Now, I don't know exactly, and I don't want to misquote it, but it's more than 99 cents now.
Okay,
But it's a very reasonable amount. You know, and when you think about it, you know, when I started out, I was going from place to place, person to person, foundation to foundation. You don't have to go do all that work because it does it for you.
So how does that impact on your business plan or your business model?
I want to be like Christopher Gray. I definitely do.
Goodness gracious, because he has been able to aggregate all these resources.
Yes, he has.
Now, he does not guarantee
Right.
that the young person making application will be approved,
That's right.
but they do have the resource.
Exactly.
I wonder how many young people are going to take advantage of that.
Well, Christopher Gray is now, his organization is now awarding scholarships.
They are awarding, so he has
Yes,
done well.
He has done well, and I commend him.
That is
Like I said, I
amazing.
want to be like him.
Yes, that is something.
Yes, you
That
know,
is something.
that's his purpose in life. That is what
young
he
man?
wants. Young man.
Oh, great.
A young man. The Sharks just jumped up and down, and they all wanted him.
They wanted in.
They wanted in because they saw the potential.
Yes.
They wanted in.
Because what you do, as I've said, the fact that you are able to identify free money is very powerful nationally.
Yes.
Nationally, because
Yes, it
young
is.
people all over this country need not to do debt.
That's what I'm trying to preach all over the place, because they don't. My grandmother told me this.
Okay.
She said, life is full of choices.
Okay.
When you make a choice, either one of two things happen. You reap the reward or you suffer the consequence.
Mm.
So I've had students tell me, oh, Ms. Zet, I don't want to go through all that work of filling out all those applications, and it's just too many and it's too much work. I'll just get a loan.
I'll just get a loan.
I'll just get a loan. And I said, I hope you know what you're
that
getting,
looks like.
what you're getting into. I said, because trust me when I tell you this. You say it now. It's easier now to write your name on that dotted line. But trust me when I tell you, you will have to pay a lot of money for these loans. You know, it's like you're in a financial prison.
Well, that's debt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you have, just debt and then the average daily expenses. Trying to make this real to a class I had, I said, okay, let's pretend here. You have graduated from college. All right? You've graduated from college, and thank you. And what is the first thing that you want to do? They raise their hands. Oh, the first thing I want to do, I want to get an apartment. Another one, I want to buy a new car. And I had them come up to the board and list what they wanted to do. Next to that, I said, now write how much it's going to cost you.
Right.
If you want to get an apartment, how much is that going to cost you? Oh, $75, $100
A what?
a month.
Really?
I said, okay. And the other one who said, oh, I want to get a car. And I said, and so do you want to make car notes, have a car note every month? Well, I don't know. How much is that? $50, $60? Totally out of touch. Totally out of touch with reality because they've never had to pay bills.
Right. They've never had to
So
pay
I'm
bills.
trying to show them. I said, okay, now we're going to start out with X amount of dollars. Let's just say $1,500. And after you pay all of these things that you want, now we haven't talked about needs.
Right.
All these things that you want. We get to the bottom, and one of the students said, well, Ms. Zet, I'm not going to have any money left. I said, oh, you forgot. You have to pay your student loan. Well, how much is that? I said, that can vary. But trust me, it's not going to be $75.
Not at all.
Not at all. But to show you that they're not cued into that.
Yeah.
They're not thinking like that because they've not had the responsibility to think like that and go in that direction.
So what is the answer? And maybe we'll talk, well, before doing that, what does your organization do that's unique and distinct in the marketplace?
What our organization does is we do the work for you as far as finding scholarships.
Okay.
Many people tell me, I don't know where to start. I don't know who to
I
go
wouldn't know where to start.
I don't know who to call.
Right.
What do
right.
I do? And the problem is, when you hear about scholarships, many of them are national.
Okay.
I've done this over 24 years, and I've met one national winner. One. I met him over at UC. One.
So what's going on here?
So I realized that that's not the direction I want to go in. I want to go into the direction that the everyday student
right.
can have choices of scholarships that they can apply for and use for their education.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. And in working with the students, they've taught me a lot of things also.
I bet they have.
They even taught me how to text.
Isn't it wonderful?
It is wonderful.
I'm so serious. I used to think it was rude, but
Yeah.
it is absolutely, get to it.
They taught me how to text. They've taught me a lot of things, and I love the way this generation thinks. I learn so much from them. I really do. I feel enriched when I leave their presence. And they are just phenomenal people.
Aren't they?
And you know, a lot of them, like I had one, it was a day that it snowed. Hi, Miss Zet, this is, and I just want to make sure that you know that it's slippery outside, so be very careful. I hope you're not going to leave the house today.
Oh my gosh!
They do that.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, that level of empathy and love. Wonderful.
Yeah, they do. They call quite often. They'll call, text, just checking on you. One just
Just
said,
checking.
just checking on you. Got to go to class.
Ah,
Yeah.
so can you give me some of these testimonies?
I can give you one.
Okay, because
I
I
get
know
it.
in your brochure there were
Yes,
some.
I get a call at 6:30 in the morning. It
Okay.
wasn't 7, and it wasn't light outside.
Okay,
Hi, Miss Zet. This is,
what?
I want to go to college. Can you help me? And I looked at the clock. My vision was blurred.
I know.
And I said, I have one question. I said, are you okay? Yes, ma'am, I'm okay. I said, all right. Will you still want to go to college at 10 o'clock?
It's morning.
He said, yes, ma'am. I said, call me back at 10.
Yes.
At 10:01, that phone was ringing. That phone was ringing.
Focus. Yes.
To make a very long story short, he wanted to go to a particular college, an HBCU. At that particular time, there was not a lot of money available for the scholarships.
Okay.
So he ended up being accepted at another school in another city. And he received a full ride, $260,000.
My words.
He wanted to be a pediatric oncology surgeon.
Oh my gosh.
And you know, when I would take students with me, we were at Xavier University, and I tell them, I said, when you get up to speak, do not take any papers. Don't take any papers, because you could drop them, you could lose them. You know, just
Right.
speak from your heart.
Right.
So don't take any papers. So we're over there, and I'm sitting on the back row with a lady from United Way that
Okay.
I'd met, and we were chatting, and this student gets up, and what do I see? I said, she said, I think one of you guys got some papers up there. And I said, now he knows better, so I'm trying to get his attention. And I'm clearing my throat, you know.
Right, trying to
make movements.
right.
And so the first thing he said was, Miss Zet does not want us to bring papers. She always tells us to speak from our hearts. He said, so the reason I bought a paper is because I'm speaking from my heart, because I didn't want to forget anything as I pay tribute to her.
Oh my words. Now that is
He did do that.
amazing.
He even broke it down to seconds. There are so many seconds in a minute, and so many minutes in an hour, and you make time for us. You always make time. You never say you're too busy, and you make time for us, Miss Zet,
Oh
and I
my
appreciate
gosh.
that. I had to find clinics after that
I know
one,
you did.
because it really touched my heart.
That is beautiful.
Yeah,
That is absolutely beautiful.
yeah. It's just really amazing how I feel that God has led me and directed me so that I can make a difference, and at this age leave a legacy.
Yes. Well, that's all we have.
Yes, yes.
Be candid.
My
We've got
piano
to pour
teacher.
into our young people.
We do.
I mean,
we
they need
do.
it desperately.
They need that. They need supportive parents,
Yes, they do.
and they need a supportive, as they say, village,
Right.
so that, you know, to help. You never know the needs of of each child.
Nope.
But one thing I've noticed, Michelle, and it's difficult for me to even say it, one thing that I've noticed over the years is a huge change. I'm dealing with some students who are suicidal,
Ooh,
who are homeless. It's a different time, and I encourage those other students who have, to to help us with our organization.
yes.
I said, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So I tell them, you can give back. Even if you come back and give some of your time. And that's for the parents and the students.
Right, yes. I'm just thinking as you're talking about this, because it never occurred to me upfront and personal about these young people being homeless, not having the comfort and stability of a family. That's so essential in your development.
It is, and my question is, how could you go into a classroom if your stomach is growling and you haven't eaten?
Yes.
And then, you have to worry about, being homeless. And it's so many other things that young people shouldn't have to worry about.
Not at all, not at all,
But
because
they do.
that's just a snippet of life. It's a very precious snippet.
It is.
But for me, college was phenomenal. The experience, the interface with people from all over the United States.
Yes.
Because I went to an Eastern women's college on the East Coast in Connecticut, and the diversity of cultures was foundational to the woman I am today.
Yes.
When you look at young people today and all of these things they're dealing with, and not having the wisdom and the maturity because they're young people. In many cases, they don't have parental support. They don't have church support or community support. So do you get much into that as an advisor?
I hadn't planned on it.
I know.
I hadn't really planned on it. I always try to stay in my lane.
I gotcha.
But I do have one who, she'd written her essay, and I would just send that to my son in New York because he edits for me.
Okay.
So, and he edits it and sends it right back. So he called me, he said, "Is that student still there?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Why?" He said, "Go to another room." I did, and he told me, he said, "Mom, she's suicidal."
Whoa.
I didn't have words. I knew that she needed to get help immediately.
Okay. And he picked that up from her writing?
From her essay.
Essay.
See, I don't read the essays. I pass them on to him.
Right.
So the good thing was I had a volunteer that was there who knew the mother well. And he took her aside and talked to her. And he said, "Don't send her out of state. Let her stay here so she can receive the counseling and treatment that she needs."
Gosh.
What did the mother do? Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. So, those type of situations have come up.
Is it possible that the parent doesn't get it?
I think that's a possibility. I think another possibility is the parent doesn't care.
That's horrible.
That's let's be honest, that is a possibility. And I try to do the best I can with what I have.
Right.
But I stay in my lane because
Right.
that requires professional help.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
And
does.
I lost no time in trying to convey that to the parent.
To the parent, yeah, and get some help for the child.
And get some help for the child.
Yes. My goodness. So give me, if you don't mind, read that information that's in that brochure about the kids and the money you got for them. I thought that to be very interesting.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That you were able to help, because I don't think people understand the significance of your involvement in that process. And I absolutely do not believe many of these people are going to go online and do anything. Why? Because online is intimidating unless you're buying from Amazon.
Oh, yes.
Yes, but traditionally going into online and trying to ferret through information is a challenge. So let's go with it.
Well, I have one here. The wisdom that you have given me about my financial process has been so easy for us to start this journey. It's one thing to help students with the college and financial process, but it's something so much greater when the person helping you is wholeheartedly committed to making a difference and helping each student.
Beautiful.
That was from the one who woke me up at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
And I have another one here
Okay.
who received $300,000. She received a full ride to Xavier and additional scholarships. And she said, Miss Zet is amazing. And I would not have been as successful in securing a full ride without her. She has not only built my confidence, shared several scholarship sources, guided me through the college funding process, but also formed an amazing bond between us. Each time I'm awarded a new scholarship, Miss Zet is the first one I call, and she is so true. I am so grateful to have someone like her in my life.
And we are, in wrapping up today's segment, we as a community, as a state of Ohio, and as a nation are blessed to have someone like you who is knowledgeable and committed to debt-free college available. Would you please give our viewers your telephone number?
Yes, our telephone number is 513-549-4502. And our website is rsrsfreemoney.com. rsrsfreemoney.com.
I want to thank you again for just the conversation. You're always such an amazing woman, full of wisdom and grace. And it is indeed a privilege for me to have you back on again. And I can only say, in closing out today's segment of The Power of Money, that you have been inspirational for all of your students, but you've also been very inspirational for me. And I can only wish you the best of continued success in your passion to helping students to go to college debt-free. Thank you so much, Ms. Zet.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity. You know, you can go online, that's only so much, but you know, to those who are listening, I hope that you got something out of the information I've shared with you. You have my website, you have my telephone number. You know, please give me a call, email me, look it up, and you will hear personal testimonies. And also you will hear the services that we offer.
That's wonderful. To all of you that are part of my world, the world of Michelle Graves, the Money Lady, I thank you for being a part of this remarkable interview with this very, very elegant woman full of wisdom and grace. Thank you for being a part of my world, and until we meet again, God richly bless you. You take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Anari Miller. I'm currently a freshman at Ohio University studying business. I would like to thank Ms. Zet and Reaching Self Reliant Students for all that they have done for me. I met Ms. Zet almost 2 years ago, and she helped me in so many ways in such a short time. From the first time meeting Ms. Zet, I knew she'd always give me the full truth about like how scholarships work and how schools work with money. She told me upfront the work that I would need to put in, and I admire her for that because a lot of people don't tell you like the work you're gonna have to do to put into like to do a lot of things. So I did admire her for that. She helped me with anything from scholarship applications to applying for schools and essays, and she taught me all the best ways to communicate with schools to get like the best communication with them, and not only just schools, like organizations as well. I am super duper grateful for her help because I would not be in the spot that I am here at Ohio without her. I am going to school on an almost full partial scholarship and will leave her with like little to no debt. I would recommend Ms. Zet and Reaching Self Reliant Students to literally anybody or to any student who wants to go to school for free. So if going to school for free sounds like a good idea to you, I would reach out to them. And again, thank you, Ms. Zet, for everything.
Greetings. My name is Nicole Berry Brandon, and I'm the proud mother of Nadir Land Brandon, who is a second-year student at the University of Cincinnati. His senior year in high school, we entered into the Reaching Self-Reliance organization to help him acquire scholarships to help fund his education. What an amazing opportunity we had working with him and Ms. Zet, and I am proud to announce that he was awarded the Darwin T. Turner Scholarship, which awarded him a full tuition-paid scholarship at the University of Cincinnati. My advice to you is to work the program because the program works for you. Reaching Self-Reliant Students is amazing, and Ms. Zet is amazing too.
I would just like to take the time to thank Ms. Zet and Reaching Self-Reliant Students for everything they do. I mean, without them, I definitely would not be where I am today. I'll be a rising senior at the University of Cincinnati studying cello performance, and she helped tremendously in making it possible for me to go to my dream school debt-free. Ms. Zet, she knows the ins and outs of everything. She helped me through all the scholarship applications, even college applications. She helped me appeal for more financial aid, anything you can think of. She helps write essays, everything. She's just an amazing person overall, and to this day, I'm eternally grateful for her help. And like I said, I definitely would not be where I am today, and I just can't thank her enough. Thank you, Ms. Zet.
I want to start off saying I love you, Ms. Zet. I want to thank the Lord for placing you in my life. You are such a blessing. This program is a blessing. So if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be tuition free right now. And that's a heavy lift off of our family. Just thank you. I love you.
Hello, my name is Markayla Parker. I'm currently a junior at the University of Cincinnati. Ms. Yarbough and her organization started helping me and my aunt get financial aid for myself starting like sophomore year of my high school. And I went to her workshops. I attended her workshops. She helped encourage me, advise me about scholarships and to achieve academically, and I'm very grateful to this day. Thank you very much, Ms. Yarbough. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lexi Dinkins, and I'm a senior at Scott High School. I plan on attending Northern Kentucky University and majoring in pre-med. Reaching Self-Reliant Students is helping me with college prep and resources on local scholarships to help fund my college costs and save money with outgoing loans. I plan on graduating debt-free.
Man, I appreciate Ms. Zet so much. She has done the world for me from when I started, I believe, my junior year. She was like, let's get on it. She helped me register for ACTs, get ACT prep. She prepared so many, like numerous scholarship opportunities for me to apply for, and just aided to all my needs for college, preparing for college, my essays. I would not be where I am without her today. I'm studying computer programming and software development. And all my scholarship money from Jewish Hill, New Orphan Asylum, everything. I got to go to my dream school for 2 years, and that was a blessing. And I just appreciate her so much, and she's amazing, and you'll love her. She's amazing. Thank you, Ms. Zet.
Hi, my name is Nari Miller. I am a senior at Princeton High School, and I have been working with Ms. Zet since the summer of 2018, and she has given me a lot of opportunities and given me all the resources I need to find scholarships so that I can go to college to further my education without having such a high cost. And I would just like to give a huge shout out to her for all of the help that she has given me, and thank you.